Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments. Every week I take a close look at the real estate market here in the Villages. For those who don't know, the Villages is like living in a resort. It's a 55 plus community. We have championship golf courses, executive golf courses, recreation, shopping, dining, and live entertainment at four town squares, 365 days of the year. If you want to know what's happening with prices here, long-term trends, and what happened over the last week, this is the show for you. There's a lot to talk about this week. The stock market was in free fall and recovered slightly today, but it's more interesting what's been happening with interest rates. We'll get into that. Specifically regarding the villages, I will show you how the villages can be broken into four distinct areas representing the growth path of the villages. You'll get a sense as to where there's activity, what types of homes are available in each of the areas, and at what prices. A couple of things important to note. First, the Villages has two real estate marketplaces, the VLS and the MLS. The VLS is the Village's own internal real estate marketplace. It's the only place you'll find new listings, but pre-owned homes are both on MLS and on VLS. The important thing for buyers to note is that if they're only using a VLS agent or only using an MLS agent, they will only be seeing about half of the pre-owned properties for sale here. Also, if you're a seller, you're going to need to decide whether to list on VLS or MLS. You can't list on both. You have a decision to make. Give me a call if you're interested in the reasons to use MLS versus VLS. All of this information is drawn from the MLS. We produce this show every week. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. If you find the information valuable, please like the video or consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're a buyer trying to find a good deal here or a seller trying to maximize your return, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So let's take a look at where we stand this week. Prior to today, I have been showing you mortgage rates because obviously since most real estate is financed, they do play a significant factor in the value of real estate, but I couldn't find mortgage rates that were accurate as of today, so I'm going back to the 10-year US note chart because the 10-year is the rate that the mortgage rate most closely tracks, and I'll point you to the area on the far right on this chart. This is daily bars, this is the yield on the 10-year, and you can see Friday and Monday the two green bars on the right, that represents rising interest rates. Normally, when the stock market suffers a panic of this type, money flees into bonds. The fact that it appears not to be in this case is concerning. It will have a significant impact on real estate prices if yields increase from here. We'll wait to see what happens. It's not a financial show. I'm not going to get into bonds and stock prices, but I thought it was worth alerting you to the fact that it certainly appears that rates may be rising in spite of a collapsing stock market. Just to briefly orient you as to where the Villages is, we're in central Florida. We're about an hour north of Orlando, about an hour and a half from coast on the east and west. The maps you're looking at are showing you all active listings as of today on the MLS. The size of the circle denotes the size of the property, larger the circle, larger the home, and the color of the circle denotes its price per square foot. The brighter the circle, the more expensive per square foot. We're looking here at Lake Sumter. I'm going to show you how we can use these maps to determine properties that may be under market or have been on the market for a long time. Opportunities may abound there. I'm also going to show you a little later how I've divided the villages into four geographic regions. I'll show you how many listings there are in each, but let's take a look at the totality of listings to start. Here we look at a chart of the total listings on the MLS system, which as of today numbers 676. It may appear that things are improving because last week the number was 689, and it would seem that inventory is being removed in a positive manner, but it is misleading because over the last 7 days the number of new listings exceeded the number of homes going pending, 50 to 43. The reason that the total listings has declined is because 21 listings expired and 10 were canceled over the last 7 days. That represents a decrease in inventory of 31, which makes it appear as if the market is healthier than it is. This is the median time on the market for all active listings on the MLS. Today, 55 days, the median time. I have pointed this out in the past, but it's noteworthy that in 2022, 2023, and 2024, every time that the median time exceeded 50 days, it was swiftly followed by an improvement. It's been since approximately August of last year that we've seen consistent readings higher than 50 days on the market. Now we'll look at the median list price per square foot for all MLS listings. I'm going to show you both a long-term chart going back 3 years and a short-term chart going back only a year. We've dropped to 255.31 a square foot as the median list price for this week. It's worth noting that 255.31 is barely higher than the worst levels we've seen, which were 255.10 a foot in the beginning of March of this year. Before we leave listings, let me show you how I've divided the villages into 4 geographic regions, and I'll show you what the differences are between them as we go forward. The first is the area that I'm calling the North. This is everything south of 42 and north of 466. Once again, these maps are showing you all active listings, size of the circle, size of the home. The brighter the circle, the more expensive per square foot. In the north this week, 283 active listings, down slightly from last week. Number of homes going pending over the last 60 days numbered 81, down dramatically from the previous period when it was 95. And the number of homes closing over the last 60 days in the north numbered 151 compared to 136 for the previous period. This is the mid-north. This is everything south of 466 and north of 466A. This is probably one of the most popular areas in the villages due to its central location and proximity to so many amenities. This week, 192 active listings, up slightly from 189 the previous week. Number of homes going pending, 63 over the last 60 days compared to 66 for the previous period. And the number of homes closing over the last 60 days in the mid-north numbered 115, slight improvement from the 113 of the previous period. This is the Mid-South. We're getting into the newer area villages. This is everything south of 466A and north of Highway 44. This week, 86 active listings, down from 97 of last week. Number of homes going pending in the Mid-South over the last 60 days numbered 30, small improvement from 29 of the previous period. And the number of homes closing over the last 60 days numbered 33, improving from the 28 of the previous period. And this is the newest part of the villages, the south. This is everything south of Highway 44. This week, 116 active listings, slight decrease from the 117 of last week. Number of homes going pending in the south over the last 60 days numbered 25, improving from the 22 of the previous period. Number of homes closing numbered 26 over the last 60 days, down from 30 in the previous period. Here you can see a summary of what I just described to you. You can see how many homes are currently active in each area, how many went pending over the prior 60 days, and how many sold over the prior 60 days. If the number this week represents an increase from last week, then the cell is highlighted in green. If the number is a decrease from the number of last week, then it's highlighted in red. We're going to be taking a look at the differences between the different regions, but first let's look at the villages as a whole. This week, 677 active listings. Sizes range from 810 square feet to 3,620, with the median home for sale on the MLS at 1,518 square feet. Prices this week range from 150,000 to 1.5 million, with 375,000 the median. And on a per foot basis, prices in the villages range from 117 a foot to 541 a foot, with 255 a foot being the median. Let's take a look now at how the different regions compare. These are the 4 regions of the villages, North, Mid-North, Mid-South, and South, as I described. You can see how many listings, what sizes are available, prices, and per foot. So, for example, in the North, 283 active listings this week. In the South, 116. In the Mid-South, only 86. Sizes in the North range from 810 square feet to 3,087, with 1,392 the median. In the South, sizes range from 828 to 2930, with 1564 square feet being the median. Prices in the north range from 150,000 to 875, with 330 the median. In the south, they range from 239 to 1,000,004, with 438 being the median. And on a per foot basis in the north, prices range from 117 a foot to 361, with 233 the median. In the south, from 195 a foot to 513 a foot, with 277 a foot being the median. Before we move on from listings, this map shows you the active listings on the MLS, and the color of the circle represents the year that the home was built. The darker the circle, the older the home, the brighter the circle, the newer the home. You can see the path of construction moving south, and I'll summarize it further for you here. This gives you an idea as to how old the homes are that are being offered for sale. All regions is the entirety of the villages. You can see that most properties listed for sale were constructed between 2000 and 2007 or 8. But in the north, you can see that construction began essentially in the 1980s and virtually ceased in the 2000s. In the middle north, it began in the 2000s. In the middle south, it began around 2010. And in the south, it began around 2017. You can see how many homes are available by year of construction in the different regions. If you're looking for a home of a certain age, this will help you narrow down which area of the villages you should be focusing on. Now let's look at what changed last week, i.e. how many new listings were added to inventory and how many homes went pending and were removed from inventory. Keep in mind there were 31 listings where the listing either expired or was cancelled. So obviously, even though new listings exceeded pending home sales, we saw a total number of listings decline. But this graph shows us the true state of affairs, which is new sellers and how many buyers there were. New listings last week exceeded homes going pending once again. The graph you're looking at is a 4-week moving average. New listings are the red line and homes going pending, the blue line. That 7.5 is the 4-week average of the difference between the two. Here we can see the actual numbers. This is showing us the difference between new listings and homes going pending. Last week, 7 more new listings than homes going pending. Any readings below the zero line are obviously unhealthy for the market. And visually, you can see that it's been quite a while since we've seen more homes going pending than new listings. We'll take a closer look at the homes going pending. Here we're looking at how long they were on the market. The 4-week average is 42 days. This is an increase from last week, and you can see that things look very different than they did a year ago. This is the median price per square foot at which the homes that went pending over the last 7 days went pending. You're looking at a 4-week moving average, which has been increasing up to 250, 251. That's the average. The actual data point is 260.97 per foot. This is the first time this year that we've seen pending per foot prices exceed 260. We keep this chart to get some sense as to the amount of pressure that sellers are feeling. This data shows you the price change from the original list price for the homes that went pending over the last 7 days, i.e. the homes pending over the last 7 days had a median reduction of 4.4% from the original list price. That is an improvement from the 4.99%. But of the homes that went pending over the last 7 days, 62% of them had a price reduction from the original asking price, compared to only 50% of them for the prior 7-day period. Now we'll look at data for the homes that closed over the last 7 days. The number of sales over the last 7 days, the 4-week average is 45 sales. But as you can see, this is a strong number, even though we are at the height of the selling season, and it's almost expected that we would be reaching a level of this type. I'll show you how seasonality affects it on this next chart. This is showing us sales per week on a calendar basis. You can see the weeks of the year on the x-axis below and the number of sales, the y-axis to the left. The dark blue line is sales activity per week for 2022, light green 2023, red line 2024, and the light blue line 2025. It seems that the number of sales appears to be close to historical norms, but the number of homes being listed continues to increase. Here we look at the same data on a smoothed 4-week average. You can see 2023 light green, 2024 dark blue, and 2025 mismarked as Series 4 as light blue. Sales have certainly continued to increase for the first 14 weeks or so of this year, but we would expect, based on historical norms, that we'll see sales gradually decline for the next 6 months or so. Time on the market for the homes closing last week, median was 40 days. That is a 4-week average. But it seems evident looking at this chart that buyers have been more enthusiastic. For those who don't know, the Villages has a big seasonal component. People from colder climates up north visit here or return to their homes here for the winter months, and a lot of sales take place because a lot of potential buyers are in town. That will diminish through the summer. This is the median price per square foot for the homes closing last week. The number you see of 243.75 is a 4-week moving average. The actual data point was 237 a foot, which is quite a drop from the 250 a foot that was in effect for 2 weeks prior to that. I'm going to add one more chart which represents all listings on the MLS this week. Here you can see that the price per square foot for the entirety of the MLS is 255.35 a foot, but you can also see how the price per square foot varies as the price of the home changes. For example, in the homes that are priced under 200,000, which number 14, the least expensive is 121 a foot and the most expensive 195 a foot, with 168 a foot being the median. In the most active price segment, the $200,000 to $400,000 range, 378 active listings this week. Price per foot ranges from 117 a foot to 334 a foot, with 243 a foot being the median. There is only one home that's priced at $1.5 million or more, and that is 428 a foot. This chart probably sums up the state of affairs as well as any other. This is the percentage of listings on the MLS that have had a price reduction from their original asking price. We're up to 61.63% of listings have. This is the highest number that we've ever seen. And you can see it's particularly noteworthy that at the beginning of the year, less than half of the properties on the MLS had reduced their asking price. I have pointed out we're approaching 2/3 of properties now. Another sign that sellers are getting more serious, an increase in the median price reduction from the original asking price. We're up to 4.69% as the median reduction this week. We aren't at the highs that we've seen, but you can see that for the majority of this year, sellers have felt that they needed to reduce their asking price to a greater and greater extent. Once again, if you found this information valuable, please consider subscribing to the channel or at least liking the video. And if you're a buyer trying to find a good deal here, or a seller trying to maximize your return, please reach out to me at davidisinflorida@gmail.com or visit our website at davidisinflorida.com. If you have any questions about life in Central Florida, life in the Villages, what it's like to live here, or specifically real estate related questions, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Hope to hear from you. Take care.